So EQ, I know that you tend to use either the aggressive EQ on the channel or you go to the Rupert EQ 773. And those are kind of your two go-to EQs. Talk about which one you use when.
When I kind of found the Rupert EQ, I found myself every time I wanted to boost something to give it a little pop, that I used that. And if I was taking away, I was using the aggressive EQ. The aggressive EQ is great because you really hear it, you know, as you do with the Rupert EQ. But yeah, I just kind of gravitated towards wanting to add, that's what I would use. And it's a great EQ. It's very musical, fixed frequency points. There's more or less, and it's very simple.
And no Q adjustment,
and
so it's...
Yeah, you just do it, and that's what I thought was really great. The aggressive EQs are great as well, but you know, I find myself primarily just using the high passes, and that's pretty much all I need to do. So, but yeah, it's really, really good. Kick drum, use it all. I use the Rupert EQ, my drums, my bass. You know, I'll boost around 800 just to help with the note. We've got rototoms, some timpanis, those things just to kind of add a little top to it, some attack so it cuts through all the stuff. That's what I use.
Cool. And I noticed you've got quite a bit of drive dialed in as well, and the drive is harmonic distortion, very much like Silk. And
sure.
I mean, you end up using that a lot, do you think?
Oh yeah, I drive it. Yeah, I like to drive it.
I mean, that's musical too. I mean, in the same way, and I think that's one of the magic things about that plugin is that drive, and it's a great way to get, and I know for me, I've done a lot of shows on PM10 where I'm sharing head amps with a monitor engineer, and that works fairly well most of the time, but a lot of times I want more Silk than they want, and if you're sharing preamps, you're both using the same amount of Silk.
Correct.
And I've noticed that the drive on the Rupert EQ 773, that I'm able to dial in the drive, and that compensates for not having as much Silk as I would like, you know, so that's another great use for it. Not that you would ever find yourself sharing mic pre's.
No. I do know on my snare drum, I have the EQ in. It's flat, but I use the drive as well, and quite a bit.
Well, and I mean, it's got a modeled transformer in it, so even if you don't use the drive, I mean, just hearing the virtual circuit, if it EQs out and the drive's out, it still changes the sound in a positive way.
It does, yeah. It kind of gives it a certain growl to it that I really like. You know, being an artist from the 70s, but hits up until current time, you know, that sound from the 70s is really kind of inherent in the desk with a lot of the plugins and things you get to use, and you know, I kind of gravitate towards that.
That's great.
A lot, yeah.